Brennan Marion, pioneer behind the go-go offense, former UNLV offensive coordinator, now head coach at Sac State. They hold the number 1 ranked transfer portal class in the FCS. And now this is new news as of yesterday. Sac State is filing an application to move up from FCS. They played in the Big Sky at my former school, Eastern Washington, against them. They played in the Big Sky to move up to FBS to become FBS independent. Phil Dukes, let me ask you about Brennan Marion taking over Sac State, having a great transfer portal class, and Sac State moving up to, or attempting to move up to the FBS here.
I mean, Marion was up for so many jobs, and he for whatever reason, this was the first head job or the biggest job he was able to land. And he's going to kill it. I mean, he's going to have that effect. He has a magnetism about himself. He has an offense that's very unique, that he's taking principles from multiple offenses and joining together, and it makes kids want to come play for him. He's been able to galvanize that fan base and the people around to want to get some NIL so he can compete against bigger and larger conferences. And it's only right that because he's probably has already garnered, I can't say it definitively, but I would be willing to bet that he has the most NIL resources at the FCS level. And he's only been there, 6 months at the most? Not even 6 months, maybe 3-4 months. Yeah, a few. So I love what he's doing at Sac State. He's a major, like where I'm from in Atlanta, he's a major figure. He's always spent a lot of time in Atlanta. So I think he's well respected. He's going to be able to recruit. He's going to get guys he's going to continuously get guys who may not have, who have the athletic pedigree, but for whatever reason weren't able to capitalize on their potential at whatever Power 4 school or whatever big time school they went to. Well, Marion is a guy who's going to take some of those guys that used to go to JUCO and bring them to Sac State. Some of these guys and Coach JP can speak to that. Some of these guys, as tough as you want to be, we've seen that some of these guys just need an arm around them sometimes. And he's going to be the guy who's going to be able to get the most out of those type players. And I think it's going to bode well for him. And I don't think FCS is going to be able to hold that team too long.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you mentioned, him coming from JUCO, I think he'll definitely be able to relate with his players for sure. We see him making an impact in the transfer portal, which is the biggest, you have to have that now in this day and age in college football. Now, let me ask you, Sac State moving up, filing paperwork with the NCAA to move up to FBS. Now, let me ask you, is Brennan Marion, he's the guy to lead Sac State to that FBS level and compete, not just move up a level and, just struggle. I think that they'll really, really compete, with Brennan Marion. How do you feel about them moving up? And do you think Brennan Marion will lead them to compete, so to speak? Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the scheduling, and when you figure out who they'll be playing, I could 1000% see them in a what does New Mexico play in? Like Big West or Mountain. I can see him playing. I mean, he's come from the Mountain West. Yeah, I mean, like some of those Mountain West schools who aren't at the top, when you see some of those conferences, you look at some Conference USA schools who or All-American Conference, like guys who haven't really been at that top level. If you look at some of those lower-tier schools, I 1000% believe that he can come in and make a schedule enough to where he can be competitive to where you put a few of those big-time schools in to, some revenue games to help you build steam. And then from that point, a year or two from now, you're talking about a real – maybe not a year or two, maybe 3 to 4 years, where you're talking about a real independent. And I think even if he were to get this program to a Liberty level, I think that would be huge, right? Like we're not saying they got to be Notre Dame tomorrow. We're saying, can you make it a respectable program at the FBS level? And I think he can. I think he has everything you need. He has the resources and the relationships, and nothing goes without players. And he's one of the guys who's been one of the better recruits. And you see the job that he did at UNLV with the backfield that he's put together, at UNLV. So 1000%, I feel like he can be a guy that can make an impact at the FBS level at Sac State. They just got to keep him at Sac State.
Right, just got to keep him there. But I agree with you 100%. I think he definitely is going to make an impact, and we're already seeing it. Number 1 transfer portal class. We'll see how that translates into Big Sky play headed into this season. But nonetheless, Sac State is filed paperwork with the NCAA, attempting to move up to the FBS. Big news there.